Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This video does not relate to any adult's personal life and all the incidents mentioned are truly fictional. You and they returned back home after celebrating your birthday with your family. Today went so joyful for you as you felt so contented being loved and pampered by your family for the whole evening. And now you return back to your house, eager to meet your babies. You entered the house but were welcomed by high-pitched crying voice. Your eyes widened and you immediately rushed to the couch where their nanny was trying to calm them. You hastily took both the crying babies on your lap as they were crying their heart out to the point that their faces turned red due to excessive crying and their voice echoed in the whole house. You started to calm them down as weeping like this will hurt their health. No, my baby, shh, calm down. Oh, why crying so much, huh? See, Mama is here. Shh, no more crying. Stop. Very good. My babies are so good. They listen to me, right? They stopped crying when heard your soothing voice and your touch. They calmed down and you softly wiped both of their tears while smiling at them. Jim held your clothes off sideways in his small fist and snuggled his face in your chest, finding the comfort zone. And once he found it, his lost sleep returned again. And on the other hand, Rosie stayed sitting on your lap and made grabby hands to reach your face. You laughed on her efforts to reach your face and then brought your face near hers. She without warning pecked your lips, which left you shocked as she did that so randomly. Nowadays she is developing this habit of kissing your lips whenever she remembers it. It's her way of showing love to you, and you found it so sweet and adorable. She also slept after a while, and that's the time when you looked up to see your surroundings because when you are with your babies, you forget what is going around you. The nanny already went a long time ago, and they already changed into casuals when you were busy with your chubbies. He came down and took Jim in his arms, then said, "Baby, let them sleep in their room today. I have to talk something important to you." But before she could even oppose, he already went away, and it was so obvious that he knew if he listened to her, she will definitely disagree. She followed him inside the baby room and she saw that he already made Jim lay down properly. But she didn't wanted this. She wanted them to sleep with her in her room. So she thought to protest, but it was so useless as they took Rosie from her arms and made her lay down too. He then held her wrist and dragged her to their room even after she kept on saying that she wants the twinnies to sleep with them, but he neither listened her nor gave importance to what she said. They entered the room and they locked the door in a swift motion and pinned Wyan on the door itself. All these things happened so quickly that Wyan couldn't process it even a bit. She looked at Tay in eyes and that's when she realized why he is behaving like this. She bit her lips and they raised his eyebrows while giving a quirky smirk as his aura was screaming, "Now how will you save yourself, baby?" She pushed him slightly and tried to walk away as she could not survive his gaze on her, but she suddenly gasped loudly as she felt that he held the string of her dress, and when she walked away, it wholly opened, leaving her backless. She held the dress from her chest so that it could not slide down. She could feel her fastened heartbeat on her own hand, which was placed there. They came near her and held her shoulders with his both hands, making her heart to skip so many beats in a single second. He whispered in her ears so sensually, making her lose her mind more and more. "So, baby, 18 already. Now what's the new excuse to escape from me? Hmm?" He said that in his infamous low, deep voice, making you lean your head back on his chest without your knowledge. He very well knew his effect on her, and that's what was encouraging him to tease her more. He crawled his hand from her shoulder to her hand, which was holding the dress on her body, but they slowly and eventually took away the hand from her. He kissed her hand, which brought her back to her senses, and that's when she realized that he did that intentionally so that her dress can off her body. Her eyes widened and mouth hung low open in shock because she was literally standing back facing him in her. She roamed her eyes around to find something to cover herself with, but nothing could come in her sight. So she hastily turned around and buried her whole body in his chest while hugging his torso really tight, as the jacket he was wearing covered her too. But her whole body shivered listening his next words. Wow, what a scene! The prey is hiding in Hunter's jacket for the first time. His predatory words covered you up, and you again bit your lips in nervousness, cause you knew that today he's not going to leave you at any cost. Next morning, your sleep broke in the early morning when you felt the sheets sinking beside you, and two little goofballs came on you. One started to eat your nose while holding your face in her soft, tiny hands, while the other one laid on your harshly throwing the covers away from your upper body. You knew who were clinging to you in the early morning, but you opened your eyes when you felt something wet on your face and chest. You quickly held your babies and saw their face filled with tears. You looked up to see your man sitting beside you, shirtless only in his boxers, and then you asked in your soft morning raspy voice, "Why are they crying?" Maybe because they didn't find you beside them in the early morning? Vian hummed a little and then looked at the tiny creatures. They were looking really sleepy as they found their comfort and warmth, which brought their lost slumber again. Vian again looked at they and said, "Let's sleep for some time more." With that, she covered the sleepy baby lying on her chest and let the other one stick to her by her left arm while Taehyung slipped inside the sheets, coming closer to his three important persons, securing all of them while wrapping his arm around them. Vian patted Jim's bum lightly while softly caressing Rosie's back so that they could sleep peacefully. Taehyung kissed all of their heads and then all of them took a nap for a while. It was already noon, and Vian's sleep broke when she felt tingling sensation on her. She looked inside the blanket to see her chubby baby nibbling on her. She felt a little pain, maybe because Jim was nibbling on her with his gums for a long time in his sleep. She got the idea that his teeth have started to come out. That's why he was getting the urge of nibbling on whatever comes in front of his mouth. Then she looked beside her to see her baby princess sleeping with a little pout on her arm, making it her pillow, and then her eyes went on the man of her life, who was sleeping with eyes left a little open. She chuckled slowly, watching all of her precious gems being close to her. She carefully removed her arm from under Rosie, but this broke her sleep. Vine looked at her and smiled while kissing her soft cheek as she giggled and started to flap her hands and legs in air with happiness. Vine sat on bed and detached her from Jimmy's mouth, and this broke his sleep too. He opened his eyes, and first thing he saw was his mom, which made him so happy, and he started to giggle because yesterday and today in the morning when he woke up, he didn't saw his mom. So now when the first person he saw was Vian, he became so happy. Sleepy Theon roamed his hand over the sheets, but there was no one beside him. He opened his eyes to see you and the babies kissing and hugging each other as if they were meeting after a long time. He came just behind you and sat there, sticking his chest to your back. He placed his head on your shoulder with face hiding somewhere between your earlobe and neck while capturing you and both the babies in his arms. Rosie and Jim looked behind you from your shoulder and saw their daddy. They giggled and tapped on Theon's face to wake him up. He whined playfully and they giggled more hearing him whine. But all of yours family moment got disturbed as you heard your phone ringing. You indicated they to give your phone from the nightstand as you were holding the twinnies. He gave your phone to you and you immediately straightened your back when you saw whose call it was. You said to taehyung, "Tae, please give me your loose shirt. I need to take this call out of the room." "Ah, wait, talk here only." "No, babe, I can't take it's a first call and our babies have got a new habit of shouting when I'm on calls. So please understand." Taehyung nodded and gave you his shirt which was lying on floor. You wore it and went outside. Taehyung started to play with the babies. Meanwhile, you picked up the call. "Annyeong, Pa." "Kiddo, why you took so much time to pick my call?" "Ah, Appa, I just woke up." "What? Why so late? Are you alright?" "Yeah, Appa, I'm fine. By the way, why you called?" "Oh God, did you forget already? You were the one who asked me to train your boyfriend." Mine slapped her head as she really forgot that because of yesterday night. She immediately replied to her dad, "Appa, I'll call him right away and tell him to go to you." Namjoon hummed and bid bye to you and you came back to the room to tell this to Tae. "Babe, Appa asked you to come for the training." As Taehyung heard that, his expressions changed and he remembered his revenge to kill those who offended him and his baby siblings. He nodded with serious expressions and went off to your dad after getting ready. The training started on daily basis and it continued for like a month till the time he was completely trained to fight back both with arms and physically. You prayed daily that he just gets successful in taking the revenge, and finally the day came when the person who his parents, he was upset of someone, but there was definitely no guilt in him as he the wrongdoer. All the things settled down after that and you happily spent your days with your little family, but was the happiness to be remain for too long? One day you were happily sitting in the living room along with Tae, Jim and Rosie, enjoying the moment when you got a call from Yoongi. You picked up the call and what you heard just stopped your word. "Ryan, Uncle came to my apartment for you and you know I can't lie to him. He gotta know that you are staying with Tae. He's on the way to your house. He's really furious." Your breath stopped as you found your world collapsing in front of your eyes. You had no guarantee of future that will you be able to live with your babies or not. Taehyung also started to panic as he heard all of your conversation because the phone was on speaker. You both looked at each other and gulped the lump in your throat, but before you could even react or try to think something, the door of the mansion opened with a thud, and there your dad was standing with pure rage and aggression in his dragon eyes, along with the army of built men standing at his back. He walked in with his beast steps and rushed towards Tae with anger. You knew your dad might even kill Tae in anger, so you immediately placed Jim on couch and stood in front of Tae. "No, no, Dad. Please stop, Dad. Listen to me. Get aside," he shouted in his deep, hoarse voice, making you so scared because you have never faced a situation like this. You've always been Daddy's princess and never experienced this side of your dad, especially for you. Your tears started to flow and you begged to your dad. "Appa, please listen to me. Just once. Please, Appa." "No, you have spoke enough lies to me from the past 8 months, and I foolishly believed you, but you took advantage of my love. Now you will only open your mouth to answer my questions. You lied to me about staying at Yoongi's house." He asked the answer in a demanding way, but you only cried more and said, "Appa, yes or no," he shouted, and you lowered your head while nodding, making your dad more angry. But before he could do something, Theong interrupted in between. "Uncle, it's not her fault. Uh, I made her stay with me." "They just shut up." "No, Dad, I was staying here with my own wish." "Enough. Now you will do as I say," he said while glaring at you. Then he held your wrist and your eyes widened in shock. "No, Dad. No, no, please. No, I don't want to go." But your dad didn't listen to your any word and started to drag you, but he stopped when he heard crying of babies. You turned around and both of your babies were crying while making grabby hands to you as they realized that you are going away from them. You forcefully removed your dad's grip from your hand and ran towards your babies to embrace them. You took them in a hug and they calmed a little. Your dad was looking at you and all the negative things were going in his mind about you. Brian, whose kids are these? He asked in a stern voice, and you got speechless while tears dripping down your face. You can feel that now the situation is going to be more worse. You could not tell him the truth that they are Taehyung's siblings because they are your children now, and seeing them his siblings will be discarding them as your children because you have fully accepted them as your kids in your heart. Neither he would believe that they are your kids. Nothing was coming in your mind. Your mind was completely blank. But Taehyung said something cause he can't tolerate any question on the existence of his siblings. They are my babies. That's it. That sentence worked as the fuel in fire. Your dad was already so angry, but knowing that you are in relationship with a man who already got someone pregnant and had kids, he can't tolerate that. He came to you and forcefully snatched Rosie and Jim from your embrace and placed them on the couch. You were crying and protesting and asking your dad to stop, but you could not bear his strength. He held your wrist and dragged you out of the house. You were looking behind while crying in mess, looking at the three people you love. They were crying as well for you. They was helpless. He can't do anything. If there was someone else, he would have fought till death. But it is your dad, so he can't go against him because your parents have first right on you. Your both babies were crying their lungs out. Their face turned red while crying. They were making grabby hands to come to you while you are trying to take them in your arms. Jim was shifting on his place to come to you, and in this, he fell off the couch. You saw this and shouted loudly, "No, Dad! Stop! Let me go to them!" But your dad didn't stop and dragged you out of the house while Taehyung immediately ran towards Jim and held him up while kissing his head and caressing the back of both of his babies, trying to console them and himself too. All of you were in grief because of the separation. What will happen now? Will you be ever able to meet the people who have now become your life? This is the most difficult decision ever. You have to choose between your kids and your parents. What do you think, guys? What should happen now? Should Vine cut ties with Young, Jim, and Rosie and choose her parents, or vice versa? To be continued. Guys, if you like the video, please like, share, and comment. And especially comment down below because that's what appreciates me to write the further episodes. Thanks for watching.